Well, hello there, incoming class of future presidents, scientists, and astronauts. On behalf of all the faculty here, welcome to Swansboro High School. My name is Mr. Daniels, and this is the introduction to your freshman year. In this video segment, we will cover the variety of tests and other information that you will encounter here in high school. So, buckle up, because here we go. Now, throughout your freshman year, you will probably hear a bunch of people talk about your final exams. But the question is, what does all of it mean? Each class will have a final exam that will either be an EOC, MSL, or CTE post-assessment. All of these exams will count for 25% of your total grade. Obviously, each 6 weeks accounts for 25%, 75% total. Yes, I am an English major, but I am aware that it equates to 100. Now, for those of you who are currently or will be in the not-so-distant future in English 9, 11, 12, World History, American History 1, American History 2, Turning Points in American History, Civics and Economics, Earth and Environmental Science, Physical Science, Chemistry, Physics, Algebra 2, Geometry, AFM, and Pre-Calculus. You will be taking the MSL, which is a Measurement of Student Learning exam. The questions on this exam include 25 to 40 multiple choice followed by several constructed response or CR questions. So if any of your teachers or anybody talk about a CR question, just remember this means constructed response. Then all that is an open-ended short answer question. Now in your career and technical education or CTE classes, you will take a post-assessment that will count for, once again, 25% of your final grade, just like the EOC and MSL. This exam is entirely multiple choice, and the courses include foods, ProStart, computers, technology, masonry, welding, carpentry, health sciences, business and marketing, interior design, teen living, apparel, early childhood development, and drafting. Basically, anything that is outside of what you would consider core classes such as English, math, science, and history. Okay, so as you approach your sophomore year, you will hear your teachers talk about the PLAN test. This test is required for all 10th graders in the state of North Carolina. What? Now I know what you're thinking. Oh man, not another test. Aww. This one is different. Yay! The PLAN test acts as a midpoint for your academic progress here in high school. It helps you identify what may be an area of concern in your future classes while helping us teachers, aka me and others, better prepare you for your future goals. The PLAN test only has 4 sections, which include English, math, science, and reading. Now the English section of the PLAN test is separate from the reading portion. They seem like they should be the same, completely different. The English part will measure your understanding of standard written English, including punctuation, grammar, usage, and sentence structure. This basically means, do you understand how to form a sentence and identify something that is correct? The other part of the English test includes rhetorical skills. This will examine your understanding of the use of strategy, organization, and style in writing. Here you will read 4 prose passages and answer a number of multiple choice questions that follow. Now don't freak out if you can't remember the definition of prose. It simply means that the passage is written in ordinary form like a short story instead of poetry. Now the second part of the PLAN test will measure your mathematical reasoning. This test focuses on your ability to reason in math rather than on how well you have memorized formulas or can do involved computations. Don't worry, I know what you're thinking, and yes, you can use a calculator in this section. The skills that you will be tested on are from your first and second year classes, such as pre- and first year algebra and plane geometry. No, not that kind of plane.
For flying out loud.
Most of the questions focus on content presented before the second year of high school. So luckily, this focuses more on what you're able to do rather than what you can remember. Now, the third part of the PLAN test is reading, and it will measure your reading comprehension. In this section, you will focus on skills such as referring to details in a passage, drawing conclusions, and making comparisons and generalizations. This test will have 3 prose passages. Yes, that word again. 1 in social sciences, 1 humanities, which is literature, history, philosophy, and 1 in prose fiction. I love that word. Each passage will be followed by several multiple choice questions. The best part about this test is that you don't need to know any information about the passage. So luckily, if the passage is about a volcanic explosion, It won't be necessary to know how or why a volcano explodes. You also won't need to know your vocabulary taken outside of the context of this passage, but everyone will appreciate you knowing the difference between your and your. Now, the last part of the plan test will measure scientific reasoning skills based on material that is typically taught in first and second year high school general science courses. The material includes topics in biology, chemistry, physics, geology, astronomy, and meteorology. The test presents 5 sets of scientific information using 3 formats. The first format will be data representation for 2 sets. You will work with graphs, tables, and diagrams. The second format will include 2 sets of research summaries. The questions following this will require you to read descriptions of several related experiments. And last but not least, the last format would include 1 set of conflicting viewpoints, and you must analyze the 2 or more interpretations that are inconsistent with one another. In order to answer these multiple choice questions, you will need to understand the information given, examine critically the relationships between information and possible interpretations, and generalize from the information in order to draw conclusions or make predictions. Now, unlike the math segment, you will not be able to use a calculator, but you don't need one to answer these questions. During your junior year, you will take the ACT. This test is simply a longer version of the plan test, but that information is for another time in another video. So, tune in next time where we'll discuss the difference between your and your, why Chuck Norris can divide by 0, and how Bill and I keep science cool with bow ties. So until then, stay classy, Pirates. This is Mr. Daniels, and you're in the Pirates Cove.